Hey everybody, it's Kellen Nitro for Nitromaniac TV's a wrestling channel, and yeah, last night, NXT Takeover Chicago II. Here is my take on what was a fantastic event again from Chicago on June 16th, 2018. Started the card off with Vic Joseph being announced as the play-by-play man for the night, as Mauro Ranallo had a Showtime boxing commitment for the evening. You know what? I thought Vic did a splendid job throughout the night. He did what he was asked to do. Nigel McGuinness did an awesome job. I'm still kind of iffy on Percy as the third man in there, but they like to do their free-man booths in WWE, so ergo, you'll see that going forward. But Vic and Nigel have the chemistry from 205 Live. You can tell that, and you can see that as it was going on throughout the night. Opening tag match, the Undisputed Era tandem of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly defending the NXT Tag Team titles against Danny Burch, Orny Loken, or as I like to call them, the Commonwealth Bash Team. Well, the United States isn't part of the Commonwealth anymore, but you get what I'm saying. Man, those are just two guys that just love to strike and hit, very similar style. And again, it's kind of a DIY thing with them. Here's two guys who are opponents that given the opportunity to tag, and now they're a great tag team. So, it's a trope of WWE to do that nowadays. We've seen it with Sheamus and Cesaro. We saw it with DIY. Now we're seeing it with Loken and Burch. I mean, the crowd was hot throughout this entire match. If you haven't seen this match, you got to go check it out. What I explained here could not do it justice. A lot of people are saying it's one of the best tag team matches of the year. I would have to agree going forward. It was indeed one of the best tag team matches I've seen in 2018. Undisputed Era walks out with the tag team titles, but you have to think that Burch and Loken will get another chance down the line for the belts. Then up next was the match that a lot of people thought was the show stealer of the evening. You had Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream, and I just love the subtleties in this match. You had Velveteen Dream, I guess the upper part of his body was kind of imitating a Hulk Hogan type stuff, or Hollywood Hogan type stuff, with a boa and the red and yellow and all the Hogan references and that stuff. And I didn't notice it until afterwards, but his trunks were the Prince Puma trunks from Lucha Underground and the Prince Puma days of Ricochet. So if that was the whole gist of the feud, is because he dared call himself Prince in another promotion, then that's actually outside the box thinking a little bit from NXT Creative at least. So, maybe there's hope for WWE Creative. Who knows? I thought this match was very similar to the Velveteen Dream Aleister Black match at TakeOver last fall. It's in Houston, I should say. And it was a very hard-fought, very closely fought together match. It was a definite match of the year candidate for sure. I love the trash talk that the Velveteen Dream had in this match going forward, and just trash talking Ricochet in different spots, calling him Bingo Hall, calling him independent, blah blah blah. That just, it built upon the story very well. Again, it's definitely a match of the year candidate in my mind. Ricochet landed at a 630 for the win, so now the storyline going forward is, can the Dream get it done on the big stage? It seems like every single time he's challenged somebody on the big stage or been involved in something on the big stage, he's kind of come up a little bit short. So I guess that's the storyline they got going forward. NXT Women's title on the line next, Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross. I thought that this match conveyed a great story of the champion being petrified of a challenger. Baszler was absolutely petrified at Nikki Cross because she found somebody who was more crazy than her. Whereas Baszler's kind of this take-no-nonsense, full of ego heel champion that will kick your ass. Cross is the crazy babyface now at this point. That'll do anything to win the title, and the crowd is behind her. We've seen a lot of that in that match. I think this match has gone a long way to giving Nikki Cross a separate identity from Sanity. Of course, the result, Shayna Baszler got the submission victory over Nikki Cross. I think we got to have a rematch out of this. We just have to going forward. I think just too many open-ended questions coming out of this match last night. EC3 and Keith Lee were shown to be in the house. Kairi Sane was also in the crowd a little bit earlier on. They showed a picture of her with a little telescope thing that she has. And, EC3 has wrestled some matches for NXT, so I found it kind of hilarious that people were like, is he NXT? And it's like, well, he kind of is already. They just didn't use him on this card at all, which I think is just part of storyline right now. Keith Lee will be very interesting to see how they use that, how they develop that character and how they use that athlete, because dude can go. Definitely check out his independent stuff if you have the chance. NXT Championship on the line. Aleister Black, the champion, taking on Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan, I think I mentioned it earlier, just reminds me of Vader. I think if you gave him like a heel manager, like a Heyman or something, the sky's the limit for the dude. And it's not any knock on his promo cutting ability, because we can tell that he can handle the bad guy role very well. We'll see him on the main roster sooner rather than later, I think, because Vince likes the big dudes, and no doubt we'll see him and Strowman, maybe him and Lesnar in a feud a little bit later on. We'll see. Who knows? I mean, the match, it eventually took 3 Black Mass finishers to fall Lars to get the free count. So that in itself is a great story of the champion being outmatched. With both singles belts, the women's belt and the NXT title, you had that kind of the similarity in that storyline with a champion. You think the champion had bit off more than they can chew in their respective matches. Maybe not so much in the tag team match, where it was just kind of more, a surprising tag team getting a shot. But with the women's title and the NXT championship, then definitely, I think that was the common thread throughout the show. Black Mass, Aleister Black walks out with the NXT title, and I assume maybe a rematch down the line if Lars Sullivan doesn't get called up to the main roster again sooner rather than later. But I think the guys they're going to strap a rocket to him here shortly and bring him up. And the main event, the Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano street fight. Well done. I thought that this match was better than their match at TakeOver New Orleans. It told a vastly different story. It was very brutal. It kind of reminded me of watching like an NWA street fight from the 1980s instead of a WWE one a little bit. It kind of had that Crockett feel to it. And just the brawl throughout. I love the spot where Ciampa was going to throw Gargano off of the dumpster, and Johnny reverses it and takes Ciampa with him, and that's up. And then they strap him to the gurney, and Johnny's just sitting there wondering, thinking, of course, this is all because Ciampa took Gargano's wedding ring and spat on it and threw it out into the crowd, right? And it just, shows the vindictiveness of Ciampa, but then Gargano just fights back with that rebel heart, right? And it was just spectacular. And the ending itself just came out of nowhere. The short DDT finish onto the hardwood, you kind of thought that because Ciampa had revealed the wood in the ring, that he was going to hit the wood, because that's, again, the old wrestling trope. He who presents the weapon usually gets hit by it. But no, it actually went out that way for the finish, was that, Ciampa jumped out and grabbed Gargano while coming back through the ropes, and then, bam, just dropped him. This, again, the highlight of the night was, I thought it was just, this entire match was incredible. I think I may have gave something in highlight of the night a rating earlier in the review, but this was just, I'll be watching this match over and over again for years to come. It was amazing. Final rating, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was one of the better takeovers I've seen, and goes up there with last year's Chicago takeover. So maybe this is the new Brooklyn for WWE. Maybe this will be the new quote-unquote marquee event that they have every summer, or early summer, I guess, for takeovers and on the NXT brand. Anyways, I'm a very tired killing Nitro. We'll talk to you later on. Money in the Bank coming up next, so we'll see how good that is. Later days, guys. Happy wrestling watching.